Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive. The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left a state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life. just because they are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools, mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage, used in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today. The Women and Children's Restoration Ministry is a reading ministry founded on the principle that if one reads, one can manage his or her life successfully. The benefit of reading is enlightenment. Reading brings about self awareness, and reading teaches one to problem solve, even if the problem is managing one's emotions. We advocate that people read all of their lives. We believe reading opens the door to possibilities and shows a person how to tap into his or her imagination as others have done before them. Reading is also a way out of poverty and ignorance. Poor children are overwhelmed at birth, especially black male children. Since the dissolution of the black family, 85% of black children are raised by women who are poorly trained and ill suited to be parents. You are ill suited to be a parent if you refuse to take time to read to your child or read for yourself. You are ill suited to be a parent when you stick your child in front of a television or video game so he or she will be out of your hair. You are ill suited to be a parent when you continue to bring non-related males into your home straight from the bar just because the man winked at you. You are ill suited to be a parent if you teach your daughter that all she has to do in life is to put her buttocks and breasts out to attract a man. And you are surely ill suited to be a parent when all you think about is walking around, allowing your derriere to flop in the wind, thinking your buttocks is going to attract some man. Our children are surrounded by people living by tradition instead of living by creativity and hope. Black children are not supported at home to read. Black children are not being taught to value reading. There are black homes where there is not one book in the house. The children do not even receive a book for a present. Black children are not being given a chance to stand up and bat because they are being defeated in the crib. Black Americans are not advancing because they do not read. If you can't read, wear it, or drink it, many blacks are not interested. How many bookstores are in your neighborhood? How many books have you read this year? How many conversations do you have with people about a book that you read? There is a saying that has been repeated throughout generations. If you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. This saying is disgusting. Lack of knowledge is why black people get duped in business, why black women lack self-esteem, and easily participate in sexual sin. Many black people cannot read an insurance policy or a purchase agreement. Our young men cannot receive training because they cannot read. They cannot take an exam for a driver's license because they cannot read. And what do? Nothing. Oh, we talk. Talk is easy. It makes one look intelligent. The telling point is there is no action behind the talking. The lack of self-knowledge is why we sell our bodies, why we think having a big butt makes us attractive. And once we get a clipboard and an ink pen, we think we're better than the next black woman. Reading will stop you from acting a fool on your job. Reading will make you think twice before screwing your best girlfriend's husband. Reading will not only teach you about jealousy, envy, and greed, it will teach you the consequences of these emotions. It is incumbent on us all to do something about this problem, lest we face one of these uneducated men breaking into our homes, because surely violence is associated with the lack of education. Once a child is born, every decision made by the mother affects that child, including the toothpaste that you purchase at the store. I want you to consider reading. Stand up and let God see you working to change.
Every day we wake and drive to work, and we see people walking around, smiling, giving the appearance of happiness, and we envy them. We wish that our lives were like theirs. We drive home and turn on the television, and we see people walking around smiling at their friends and spouses, and we envy them, and we wish we could live a life just like theirs. These thoughts bring misery into our lives because we believe what our eyes see. We accept what is in front of us as being true. We do not see the makeup artist in the background making the final touch-ups to the actor's face. We do not see the diet pills the actors shovel down their throats at night so they can avoid eating. We believe what we see, and what we see makes us miserable. We want to trade places. We begin to think, why could it not have been me? Why could I not have a car like that? Why could I not have a wife like that? Why could I not have a husband like that? Why could I not have a house like that? On and on the questioning continues until finally we are dissatisfied with the world around us. Why could I have not been born to parents like that? All these questions force us to turn inward, and we attack ourselves. We begin to say, I thought Mary would make a wonderful wife when I married her. Now she has grown fat. She complains every day. She never stops. I wake in the morning and she complains. I drive to work and she calls complaining. I come home at night and she complains. Will nothing change? Or you think, I thought Tom would make a great husband. Now I know all he thinks about is the next woman he's going to take to bed. I'm tired of watching him. I just don't care anymore. If he wants to take the entire neighborhood to bed, I don't care. How did I get here? Am I destined to live a life I do not want? A life I hate? Is there nothing going to change? Every day we make changes, we negotiate with ourselves. We make comparisons and we come up short and we become more and more unhappy. This is why you must take action. Otherwise, your unhappiness will lead you to alcohol, drugs, petty feuds at work, extramarital affairs, obesity, then death. Yes, unhappiness can lead to death. This is why you must take control over your life. No matter where you find yourself, you must take control of your life. Taking control will not be immediate, but the more you work at reclaiming your life and restoring yourself, control will come. You must be careful when you start your reclamation process because others around you will not want you to change. They will want you to remain the unhappy person you have always been. If you decide to return to school, keep it to yourself. If you decide to buy a new house, keep it to yourself. If you decide to move out of state, keep it to yourself. People have gotten used to the old you, and the new you may have problems exerting authority over your life with others and putting a down payment on the future. You simply may want to learn to play the piano. Do not listen when someone tells you you're too old to learn to play. If you want to learn to play the piano, do just that. Read the ads in the paper and find a teacher or contact a local school for an instructor and begin learning to play the piano. This is your life, not anyone else's. Have you noticed how mean some older people are? The meanest comes from dissatisfaction. They spent their entire life doing what was expected of them, doing what someone else told them to do, and now they are 65, 70, or 80 years of age. They realize they never did what they wanted to do. Is that not enough to make one angry? Communication is the key. We spend a great deal of time learning to communicate with others. We should spend an equal amount of time learning to communicate with ourselves. We need to stay in touch with ourselves over the years. We need to ask ourselves, what is next? Am I following someone else's playbook? Are there any changes I can make to my life that will make me happy? After you determine what these changes are, you need to sit down and assess how easy or difficult these changes will be to achieve. The books You Are the Prophet of Your Life and The Devil's Cauldron give a different perspective on self-assessment. Knowing how to relate to others is just as important as knowing how we relate to ourselves. You'll be surprised at the reading. The books are not any other. The books are a good exercise for a reality check. The full complement of books on this website was written at great cost to the writer. Jealous, envy, and even hatred was explored. You will find Be Not Defeated in Hard Times an acclamation to the human spirit. If you do not entertain defeat, you will keep on walking, talking, and working until you win. It is all a matter of goals and asking yourself, what do I want? You may say you want an F-150, but are you willing to work a second job to buy one? Or will you tell your wife why this truck is so important to you that you have to have one? It is all a matter of goals and self-examination. Why do you have to buy a dress every week? Why are you always trying to get the attention of Betty's husband? Out of all the men in the state, you have to try and attract someone else's husband? What does Betty have other than her husband that you envy, so that you have to take her husband to bed? Why was it necessary for you to sneak a peek in her dresser drawers and see how many panties she's had? Why does it make you feel better to humiliate others? Think about it. Why? Read and find your way out of the mess you're in. Reading and considering another point of view can incite you to a new idea or spark your imagination that will lead you to change.
I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now for my break.
If you have reached a point where you are stuck, having a sense of tiredness coming from seeing all of your dreams and visions of success get obscured with the lack of experience, guidance, and knowledge necessary for success, learning from Women of Courage may be the most important thing you've read this year. Living a passionate life in a hectic and busy 21st century is getting increasingly harder. Women of Courage series will provide you with all the inspiration, courage, and role model you need to get inspired and take your life in your hands and start living as bravely, as passionate as you deserve. Most aspiring individuals end up missing a huge amount of opportunities due to the lack of training and tools that would allow you to overcome psychological barriers, limiting beliefs, fears, and lack of creativity that you could potentially face during your journey as a successful woman. This lack of proper guidance manifests itself in lowered performance and productivity and failure to unleash your full potential and show the world what you can truly do. If you lack the attitude and psychology, proper resources, or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambitions a reality, you will certainly derive the most benefit from the incredible Women of Courage series. If you are serious about taking your life to a whole new level and enjoying the privileges of creativity, fearlessness, and success that all the brave women who have changed the world are equipped with, you are in the right place. Don't leave your future to chance. Get a new sense of strength, inspiration, and courage with Women of Courage series. You'll be so glad you did. Guaranteed. Achieve what you're after.
Why must I recommend the book series to you? Women of Courage are books of women for women and by a woman. The first book inspires you through the successful lives of other women, women who perhaps were in a worse situation than you. The second book gives you insight into gender equality. It endows you with the knowledge to understand you need education, you need a job, and there's never a career limit for you. Its last book, The Workbook, tells you exactly how you can work out your way from the place where you are to the place where you belong. Maybe the society has convinced you you've acquired your maximum. I tell you, there's more than you think for you out there. Spend a few dollars on this book series. Unlock your box of gold in life. For the prices and detailed information about the books, go to touchedbythelight.us/the-women-of-courage-books and get your copies. Women of Courage. When we work together, we win.
Hello, are you downcast, emotionally and psychologically broken? Still finding it difficult realizing your deepest life aspiration and fulfilling your dream of ever becoming that courageous woman you have wanted? You don't have to worry about that anymore, as I provide you with the lasting solution to turn this around. I am delighted to introduce to you 3 amazing and life-changing book series titled Women of Courage, Part 1, Part 2, and How to Become a Woman of Courage. These preach the personification of burning passion, courage, commitment, and inspiration we've simply felt compelled to express. These books are so inspiring. It motivates and encourages women to be more than the ordinary, influencing, and controlling life situations you thought you couldn't do. It educates you to break the social norms and become the unexpected and respected woman leader. It teaches you to support your own mind, your dreams, and helping you unleash your potentials. Now is the time to start thinking outside the box and overcoming emotional and psychological challenges. You too can change your world today. Why don't you challenge your fear and become a woman full of freedom that you have so dreamed of? Compared to the millions of ideas and thought it shares for your happiness and courage, the books are super amazingly affordable. You also have the privilege of reading an excerpt from the book before placing an order. Simply go to the website touchedbythelight.us and click on the book cover to learn more about these adventurous books. Do not compromise your dreamed freedom, strength, and boldness. I would highly recommend that you give this a shot. Best Women of Courage.
The Women of Courage series was written to help women learn about themselves and to turn women into winners. You do not have to settle for life prophesized by your teachers, the church, your parents, or your friends. You can change the scenarios and play the starring role. In order for women to learn to believe in themselves, to become the person they want to be, it is important for women to know where they came from. History is the standard by which we judge ourselves. If you have a good self-image, you will believe the sky is the limit. You can do anything or become anyone. But if you have a poor self-image, your thinking will be chaotic and you may never reach your goal. For centuries, women have played an important role in the development of society, yet this role has been practically ignored in folklore and in history books. Men have always had the starring role. Men have been the keepers of faith. Men have been the saviors of society. Men have been valiant, steadfast, and true, while women have been relegated to the sidelines where the peace setters were men. Today we shall put the story straight. The everyday slugfest that was carried on by ordinary women for century after century after century has never been told. Today we present a pictorial representation to give you another view of the fight conducted by women. Pay particular attention to the conditions in which the women worked and note this was a fight for survival. Why are only a few women in history books? Why are women left out of leadership positions? Why are 21st century women struggling with the same issues that 20th century women fought against? The series Women of Courage gives answers to these questions. Millions of women all over the world are living in fear, unhappy, and unfulfilled, wishing they could do more with their lives. If you are one of these women, fearful and unhappy, take the bold step and purchase the series Women of Courage. Read and learn how other women met these challenges and succeed in living fulfilling lives. Read the series Women of Courage and learn how you can change your life forever. Women of Courage is an inspirational book that seeks to tell the stories of strong women who have persevered, even when those threatened by a woman's strength have stood in the way. It's a book for all women, a book to help more of us stand up and say, it's about time. It's a book for you. Get your copy from touchedbythelight.us. Modern history is written on the back of women who chose not to conform. Our history books are littered with examples of powerful women like Rosa Parks, Malala Yousafzai, and the Triangle Shirtwaist factory workers. But for every tale of a woman's success and perseverance, there is a harrowing backstory of tribulation and strife. Things are better now, we say. It's not like it used to be. But turn on the news. Turn on the news in your own city. Turn on the international news. Women are suffering from the restrictive society in Saudi Arabia to your own neighborhood. It's better, but ask yourself, is it good enough? Women of Courage tells a tale of women, from the harrowing story of early women to their victorious perseverance. It tells tales that have not been told enough. Examples of how women have the strength to put their foot down and map their own future. Read their stories and become better equipped to write your own story by changing your behavior and becoming a woman of courage. If you have reached a point where you are stuck, having a sense of tiredness, coming from seeing all of your dreams and visions of success get obscured with the lack of experience, guidance, and knowledge necessary for success, learning from Women of Courage may be the most important thing you've read this year. Living a passionate life in a hectic and busy 21st century is getting increasingly harder. Women of Courage series will provide you with all the inspiration, courage, and role model you need to get inspired and take your life in your hands and start living as bravely, as passionate as you deserve. Most aspiring individuals end up missing a huge amount of opportunities due to the lack of training and tools that would allow you to overcome psychological barriers, limiting beliefs, fears, and lack of creativity that you could potentially face during your journey as a successful woman. This lack of proper guidance manifests itself in lowered performance and productivity and failure to unleash your full potential and show the world what you can truly do. If you lack the attitude and psychology, proper resources, or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambitions a reality, you will certainly derive the most benefit from the incredible Women of Courage series. If you are serious about taking your life to a whole new level and enjoying the privileges of creativity, fearlessness, and success that all the brave women who have changed the world are equipped with, you are in the right place. Don't leave your future to chance. Get a new sense of strength, inspiration, and courage with Women of Courage series. You'll be so glad you did. Guaranteed. Achieve what you're after.
Are you ready to make the most important step towards realizing your deepest life aspirations and dreams of becoming an aspiring, courageous woman? If you are truly feeling prepared to learn all you could possibly need to know in order to set up your life for success and understand how to avoid the common mistakes that present the pitfall of most, even the grandest dreams and ambitions, while getting on the fast track towards building a powerful, lasting, and successful character, personality, and life, you are in the right place. With Women of Courage, we pride ourselves on providing ambitious, aspiring ladies with the ultimate, most comprehensive, one-stop source of invaluable knowledge designed with one single purpose: empowering you to efficiently start on your way to absolute success and successfully building your life the way you want it to be. Please watch the intro video. Your success is our success, and we truly care about helping you unleash the full extent of your leadership potential and putting it to great use by finally becoming the best version of yourself and living life the way you have always dreamed of living it. With Women of Courage, we want to become your most trusted partner, providing you with powerful inspiration, invaluable knowledge, and committed assistance in overcoming emotional challenges related to being a woman of courage in the current world. With Women of Courage, you will be powerfully compelled to think outside of the box and identify your talents, clearly define your vision and dream, choose the lifestyle you've always wanted, realize your dreams, gain powerful confidence, and live out your deepest dreams. You may be wondering, why would I need to get a book showing me and inspiring me just how powerful I am? And what can the Women of Courage do for their environment, society, and the world in general? The truth is, having a great education, driving ambition, and burning inspiration are all great and among the most important traits of a woman of courage. However, they are not enough to give you everything you could possibly need in order to clearly define your vision and finally start living with the courage, power, and grace you are capable of. This is where Women of Courage steps in. Now let's watch 2 videos describing the books. Women of Courage will provide you with all the inspiration, knowledge, and experience you could possibly need in order to get a head start and avoid the mistakes most aspiring ladies make when beginning the journey towards living the lives of their dreams. Women of Courage is here to be your most trusted advisor, partner, and assistant in your journey towards realizing your dreams of becoming a successful woman of courage that will present a role model for future generations of aspiring, ambitious ladies who feel determined to unleash the full extent of their potential. If you're serious about not being satisfied with anything but the best when it comes to something as important as your everyday life, you should look no further than Women of Courage. If you'd ask us, What exactly Women of Courage actually is? We'd have to answer with nothing less than Women of Courage is the personification of the burning passion, commitment, and inspiration that every single one of you feels. Inspiration that we've simply felt compelled to express. Our video on the workbook tells it all. The Women of Courage series is emerging as one of the most extraordinary books for women. These books are for women who will accept nothing less than thinking for themselves. If you are feeling empowered, beautiful, and bold enough to embark on a journey of intricate elegance, incredible adventure, and relentless courage, you should look no further than the Women of Courage series. This series is one of the most powerful tools when it comes to assisting you in becoming the best version of yourself. These books are perfect for women who want to change their lives, become more independent, and start living life the way they've always wanted to live it. I invite you to purchase the Women of Courage series today. We will be thrilled to have you as one of us. The series will support you through your journey of living the life you have always dreamed about and becoming the self-made woman everyone will admire.
Yeah, from time immemorial, women play a key role both in the family, society, and the nation at large. These women are featured on the book cover because they, among many others, have paid the sacrifice of getting to the top and affect the society positively.
So, what are the attributes you like most about these women? Over to you, Stephanie.
One of the key attributes of this woman that made them to not be just a woman, but a woman of courage, is in their act of sacrifice. Like I said, there are not traffic jams on the extra mile, because only a few go the extra mile. And that is just true about this woman. Women of courage go the extra mile to achieve their purpose and affect their world.
Wow, that is interesting. So, can you just tell us a few things about these women of courage? Jenny.
Yes, there are 12 women featured on the front cover of the book. Mother Teresa, a humanitarian; Ellen Johnson, Sierra Leaf President, Liberia; Iris Chang, American Chinese author; Hypatia, Greek scientist; Aung San Suu Kyi, politician, Myanmar; Eleanor Roosevelt, First Lady; Dowager Empress Qi Zi, Empress of China; Benazir Bhutto, Prime Minister, Pakistan; Margaret Thatcher, Prime Minister, England; Condoleezza Rice, Secretary of State; Rosa Parks, civil rights activist; and Tei Satoya, Japanese Olympian.
And how many women were talked about in the book?
We discuss more than 700 women in the book. Here are a few women we discuss in the book. Rosa Parks is mentioned in the book. The no of Rosa Parks had a significant impact. She was speaking against what had happened to her people who had gone before her, and she was speaking for the rights of her people who would come after her. Also, we discuss women responsible for the passage of the 19th Amendment. Women like Alice Paul, Ms. Paul, Lucy Burns, and several other women were responsible who stood by their no and made the passage of the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution in 1920. No small accomplishment.
Yeah, Jenny. Women like Alice Paul and Lucy, as discussed in the book, organized the Silent Sentinels, a group of women organized to protest for women's suffrage, in front of the White House during Woodrow Wilson's presidency.
Well, I must say, these women were great women of history. Indeed, women of courage. So, how has this book affected you personally, Jenny?
While I personally have gone through a lot of struggles, panic attacks, and rejection, I went for a musical contest and was rejected several times.
Wow, this is getting more interesting. So, tell us, how did you overcome all these struggles and still get to this height in life as an award-winning music artist?
Well, I will say never give up. Life is never a destination, but a journey, and only the courageous can travel far. There are times when you may have to fight a battle more than once to win it, and the act of fighting to win is what builds courage and makes us the courageous women that we become. I have found myself reading this book over and over again, and each time I do that, I get something new, something inspirational that has kept me going. I must say, these women are awesome.
Yeah, You see where Gloria talked about women that were imprisoned and came back to be head of states? I'm so inspired. Some of these women went through pure torture and still became trailblazers. I love reading about how they escaped kidnapping and other dangers.
Wow, this is all good. So, Jenny, what are the takeaways from this book?
Yes, there are 5 key takeaways from the Women of Courage.
Okay, so can you get us information about it?
Like I said, there are 5 key takeaways from the Women of Courage. As a way of enlightening you on what to expect from the book, we have highlighted below 5 of the top takeaways from the book. 1. Women are vital to the nation's growth. Many nations still dwell in poverty, not because there isn't resources to work with, but because most of these countries have neglected their vital key to prosperity, the women. This has brought the shortage of women contribution to the nation's economy. Former President Barack Obama recognized this, and by signing the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, he was able to speed up the recovery of America from the recession. 2. Domestic violence is a symptom, not a problem. There is a wrong notion that domestic violence is one of the biggest problems in America. No, that is not true. The primary reason why it is tagged a problem is only meant to shy women away from the real cause and appropriate solutions. 3. Violence against women is America's greatest health problem. The most significant health problem our nation has is not cancer, neither is it HIV. Instead, it is the endless violence against women and children. Women are the backbones of their families. When they are abused or murdered, their families don't remain the same. And when families are destabilized, what do you think will become of their offspring? The majority will end up in foster homes, where they will grow up to be poor, uneducated, and likely end up in prisons. 4. Women have the power to reduce violence against women. While it is unarguable that men are the ones to be blamed for the violence against women, the reality is that nothing can be done significantly about this menace without the women. Women have the power to cause as much as a 30% reduction in the violence against women. However, this will only be possible if all women for once put behind their differences and accept the responsibility to do something about this problem as a group and not individually. In the Women of Courage, you will learn 39 ways by which women can help reduce the violence against women. 5. Reading is a necessity. The last but not least on this list is in women's readability. One of the major problems of women in America is the poor reading culture. A lot of women don't read. Many others that do don't read enough. Reading has enormous power in our lives in diverse ways. In fact, to survive as a woman in this man-centered society, you need to read as many books as you can. Not reading means you have accepted to be isolated. And like Joseph Brodsky said, there are worse crimes than burning books. One of them is not reading them. The Women of Courage offers you the perfect opportunity to expand your knowledge and become a better and more courageous woman.
I must confess, this book is a must-read for every woman. And I see myself reading Women of Courage already. I also need to be a woman of courage too.
Of course, we all need to be one. And the secret lies in this inspired book.
Yeah, you can say that again, Steph.
All right, Jenny and Steph, before we call it a day, I would like you to tell the audience why Women of Courage is a must-read for everyone.
This book is a must-read for any woman. It will help you see how women have been portrayed throughout history, and how we have been second-class citizens for so long. You will look back and see things in a different perspective, and see how these views and ideals are still affecting women across the world today. It highlights the struggles women face today with employment, and how we had to fight for our right to gain employment, and work alongside men.
You see, most times I ask, why are women and daughters still sold as if they are owned by men? Why should women accept society's notion that marriage, raising children, and keeping a home is the only place for them? Why can women not do the same jobs as men and receive the same pay scale? Gloria believes all women should be able to do whatever they want, pursue any dream they wish regardless of age, status, or background. She uses other ordinary women's struggles and strengths to help ignite something deep inside and spur you on to reach your true potential. If you want to take back charge of your life or change it, then this is the book for you.
Stephanie, do you have anything else to add to this?
To add to what Jenny just said, the book Women of Courage was written as a means of proffering detailed answers to the questions Jenny just asked and much more. In this book, you will read about how females of different ages, statuses, and colors took courage to live exemplary lives, even though most of them were of humble background. Most of the book talks about the life travels of over 700 women who display courage in actualizing not only their dreams and ensuring that women are recognized in America. You will read of how Rosa Parks and other women stood up for the liberation of Black women. You will also learn about how Miss Paul, Lucy Burns, and several other women ensured the passage of the famous 19th Amendment. You will also read about how different women had to go through trauma and agony to fight for justice. The Women of Courage aims to inspire every woman, regardless of age, color, or status, of the need to rise and fight for our rights. Most importantly, the book seeks to expand our understanding of the violence against women and children in America and all over the world, as well as how to put an end to it, once and for all. By reading the 500-page book, you will be correcting the notion that women are poor readers. And like Rufus Choate, 1799 to 1859, said, "Happy is he who is laid up in his youth and held fast in all fortune, a genuine and passionate love of reading."
I am convinced beyond every reasonable doubt that the book Women of Courage is just outright on time, and any woman who chooses to change the tide for good for herself and the generation to come should lay hands on a copy of The Women of Courage. So I think this book should be readily available for readers to get. Can't wait to get a copy of this exciting and inspired publication of Women of Courage by Gloria Lee. Visit www.womenofcourage.com or call 1-800-788-9999 to order your copy now for $15, including the shipping fee. We would love to be part of your success story as you begin the journey of becoming a woman of courage that you are meant to be.
Now is time for a change. Read Women of Courage and get inspired. This series, Women of Courage, seeks to tell the stories of strong women who have persevered, even when those threatened by a woman's strength have stood in the way. This series is for all women, to help more of us stand up and say, "It's about time." Ask yourself this question: what can't women do? If you falter in answering the question, you need to read the series Women of Courage. Get your copy today at https://touchedbythelight.us.
You have 3 choices. You can sit on your couch and do nothing. You can participate sometime hardly doing anything. Or you can step into the future that you designed. The decision is yours. What are you waiting for? You either stand up for yourself with the chance of winning or failing, or grow old, mean, bitter, and hateful, driving your children to run from home or move to another state because of your archaic ideas. Time is running out. What are you going to do?
Women of Courage show, broadcast every Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. and every Sunday from 8 to 9 a.m. Please remember, if you are not in your car or near radio during our broadcast, we can be seen and heard on your computer if you go to tv33whpr.com. Again, tv33whpr.com. We can also be heard on your phone if you download the free app WHPR TV Detroit Live, or listen to us on Roku at WHPR TV Detroit Live 88.1 FM. If you missed one of our broadcasts, you can view our archive on YouTube at the Touched by the Light Publishing channel. Recovering your life from foreclosure, bankruptcy, divorce, or other personal tragedies is not easy, but you must believe. You may be wounded, broken, battered, and hurt by life, but you must stand up and fight. People often say, when you're going through hell, never give up. It's easy for someone to say this, but talk is cheap. But you are in a place where every turn you take are met with a challenge or trouble, one thing after another. I'm not here to simply tell you not to give up. I understand what it means to be going through what you're going through right now. I slept on a cement floor being bitten by spiders to survive. However, I'm here to tell you that change is possible. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but you must hang on and do as I tell you. Yes, change is possible. I want you to hope and to believe against even all evidence. Despair is no respecter of status. It is no respecter of age, background, gender, or color. Somewhere right now there is a child crying, a man high on drugs, a mother dancing in a club just to pay her bills. Somewhere right now out there is a person heartbroken, a loss of a dear one, a failed promise of love. Somewhere out there is a person clothed in rags, without a home, without affection, and without a family, and without love. Somewhere right now, someone out there is broken, going through a rough time. I say unto you, hold on, stand fast. You can restore and recover your life. You must believe that you are worth fighting for, regardless of what the world says. When I lost everything and had to live in my car, I had a person to forecast gloom and doom into my life. She said the only person in the world that I loved would desert me. This did not happen. When the doctor punched a hole in my heart and sewn me back up, and I bled inside my chest cavity for 7 days, I did not die. God sent me an angel to help me. When cancer visited me, I did not die. God sent me an angel to stand by me. I still have both these friends today. They have seen the best of me and the worst of me. I say unto you, believe and stand fast. Help is on the way. In closing, remember, when you read and learn with your child, the entire family benefits. Let us see how strong you are to honestly work with your child to improve the entire family. Have the courage to say to your child, I do not know, but I will find out for you. Let us see how emotionally strong you are to honestly work on a problem with your child. Saying I do not know is a courage, not a weakness. Have the courage to say I do not know, then go and ask a librarian to help you. Your child will learn his or her self-esteem and self-confidence from you. When you ask for help, it lets your child know there is no weakness in asking for help to obtain knowledge. Everyone in his or her lifetime will have to ask for help from someone. Your child will learn from your flexibility and courage.
There's never such a powerful tool as information. It is the only weapon you need to overcome your challenges and reach a truce with your enemies. How then can you get the vital information you need when the world is so mean, so chauvinistic, and so isolating? How many times have you realized you're on the wrong road and without a U-turn sign? Until I took my first step to purchase and read The Women of Courage, I was lost and distressed. I hated the path of my life. There was no U-turn for me, and I knew I was lost. The book series by Gloria Lee brought me back. It gave me the courage to rebrand myself and live more. My fellow women, don't worry about the breeze of distress and fear that may have enslaved you today. You have the chance to make a U-turn and make yourself happy. Spend a few dollars on this book series. Unlock your box of gold in life. For the prices and detailed information about the books, go to touchedbylight.us/the-women-of-courage-books and get your copies. Women of Courage. When we work together, we win.
We hope you enjoyed our presentation. Every now and then we must remind ourselves of those that have gone before us, lest we forget the ground we stand on was built by the lives of other courageous women. We wanted you to see the women that fought unimaginable battles while standing alone. We wanted you to see the paths blazed by women who gave their lives to be themselves. The only reason why women are able to attend university today is because women fought for this right yesterday. The only reason why there are female police officers today is because women fought for this right yesterday. Remember, women were left behind for centuries. Our intellect was dismissed. Women had to fight and fight and fight for recognition. Some women fought their entire lives. They risked it all. Millions and millions of women spent countless nights writing letters, making signs, petitioning the courts, walking picket lines, and being beaten by family members. These women were rebuked by their fathers and husbands and disciplined physically. Some spent nights in jail. Many were spat upon. Yet these women persevered. They did any and everything they could think to do just to be free to express themselves. Now we ask that you purchase the series Women of Courage on our website, touchedbythelight.us. This knowledge will enhance your life. A portion of the purchase price will go towards programs for women and children. We ask that you share this knowledge with your young children and encourage women to purchase the series. It's important that we never forget that women contributed equally to the success of mankind.
Dear listeners, help us save a life. Stop breast cancer from taking lives. Will you assist us in putting the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer in the hands of 1 million people? Please go to the website www.touchedbythelight.us and download the booklet Black Women and Breast Cancer. Then email this booklet to 5 friends, asking them to email the booklet to 5 of their friends. We are trying to reach 1 million women with this information to save lives. The death of one woman to breast cancer from our community is one woman too many. We thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage, and have a great day.